I mentioned earlier today, Attorney General Pam Bondi was on the Hill, loaded for bear. She described a weaponization of the Justice Department that went after President Trump. This after disturbing news about former special counsel Jack Smith, who was looking into the January 6th Capitol riot and who to indict. On Monday, we learned the FBI, while working on cases for special counsel Jack Smith, tracked the private communications and phone calls of nearly a dozen Republican senators. That's spying. One of those senators, Ron Johnson from the great state of Wisconsin, said this.
It should shock every American of what the Biden administration has done. By the way, this is the first time I was targeted by the FBI. Under the Obama administration, the same thing happened to both Senator Grassley and I. As part of the Foreign Influence Task Force, we were giving a briefing to try and convince us that the Hunter Biden laptop was no big deal. Basically, trying to throw us off the track. So this is major corruption.
When because I look at these things the same thing, what they did to Scott Perry the year before and then what they did to these senators. When they went to Scott Perry, they also had 7 people show up to get his phone. We've been following 7 people. They could have called him up. His lawyers would have said, you can have the phone. But 7 people show up. One of the people there was part of the Inspector General at the Justice Department. The entity that's supposed to oversee and make sure the Justice Department behaves appropriately, they're in on the deal too. That's how bad it was.
The Society of Jesus Jesuit Oath. I now, in the presence of the Almighty God, the Blessed Virgin Mary, the Blessed Michael the Archangel, the Blessed St. John the Baptist, and my ghostly father, the Superior General of the Society of Jesus, founded by St. Ignatius Loyola, do by the womb of the Virgin, swear that His Holiness the Pope is Christ's vice-regent and is the true and only head of the Catholic or Universal Church. I do now renounce and disown any allegiance is due to any heretical king, prince, or state, named Protestant or liberal, or obedience to any of their laws or magistrates or officers. I do further declare the doctrinae of the Church of England and Scotland, and of Calvinists, Huguenots, and others of the name of Protestant or liberal, to be damnable, and themselves to be damned, who will not forsake the same. I do further promise and declare that, notwithstanding 1 a.m. dispensed with, to assume my religion heretical for the propagation of Mother Church's interest, to keep secret and private all her agents, counsels, from time to time, as they interest me, and not divulge directly or indirectly by word, writing, or circumstances whatever. And I do furthermore promise and declare that one will, when opportunity presents, make and wage relentless war secretly or openly against all heretics, Protestants, and liberals, as I am directed to, extirpate them from the face of the earth, and that I will spare neither age, sex, or condition, and that I will hang, burn, waste, boil, flay, strangle, and bury alive those infamous heretics, rip up the stomachs and wombs of the women, and crush their infants' heads against the walls in order to annihilate their inexecrable race. That when the same cannot be done openly, I will secretly use the poisonous cup, the strangulating cords, the steels of the poignard, or the leaden bullets, regardless of the honor, rank, dignity, or authority of the persons, whatever may be their condition in life, either public or private, as I at any time may be directed to by any agent of the Pope, or the Superior of the Holy Father of the Society of Jesus. In confirmation of which, I hereby dedicate my life, my soul, and my corporeal powers. And with this dagger, which one now receive, I will subscribe my name, written in my blood, in testimony thereof. And should I prove false, or weaken, in my determination, may my brethren and fellow soldiers of the militia of the Pope cut off my hands and my feet, and my throat from ear to ear, rip my belly open, and sulfur burn therein, and all the punishments that can be inflicted on me on earth, and my soul be tortured by demons in an eternal hell forever. In testimony thereof, I take this most holy and blessed sacrament of the Eucharist, and witness the same further with my name written with the point of this dagger, dipped in my own blood, and sealed in the face of the Holy Covenant, copied from the Divine Calendar, Varan 11, edited by Augusta Cook, and published by Dank and Sons, 1916. Print by Protestant Publications, 110 Glebe Point Road, Glebe, and obtainable at the Protestant Truth Society, Cray Terry, 15A Barlow Street, Sydney.